I turned 30 earlier this year, and here are my 10 life advices I could share with you. It's up to you if you want to take it or not, but here are them. Number one, no knowledge ever goes to waste. Remember this fact. Whatever you're learning, whenever you're learning, doesn't matter. It's going to come in handy at a later date. Doesn't matter if you've done like engineering or if you've done commerce and you're doing something else altogether. Those skills which you have acquired, then those problem solving skills will always be useful. I'll give you three anecdotes of my case. Right in 2014 and 15, I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos of bloggers. I used to film with my phone, trying to do this, be very awkward, filming myself. All of that skills which I got, all of the mistakes I did, kind of helped me build this YouTube community, build this Instagram community after so many years, right? In 2018-19, I took management courses, even though I was going for construction management. I took like from business school, I took management courses, which is helping me right now when you're climbing up the ladder in your job. I ask really intriguing questions to some of my seniors, which comes off intriguing to them, but that's just my curiosity, which I got from business school, which I got from those audited classes which I did when I was at Purdue. And my third anecdote is 2016 to 2019, when I moved to the US in 17 actually. I was listening to a lot of podcasts. I didn't know what use it will be. I wasn't listening to any music even while working out. I used to listen to How I Build This by Guy Raz. I used to listen to Joe Rogan. I used to listen to some comedic podcasts as well. But that taught me a lot of things on how people think, how people function, how big businesses were built in the US, in India. There's a really good podcast by Kalki Kochalian as well. She never did like the season 2 of that, but I listened to that and kind of got insights into how people think, how people talk, what they are doing right now, and keep updated with what's happening across the world, what's happening here. Second lesson, regrets won't push you, they'll just bring you down. Remember, do not regret anything. Doesn't matter if you didn't get into IIT and IT when you were going through your college, or if you're still like in your 10th or 12th and you're watching this video. Do not regret anything. Be mindful that this is the result of how much effort I've put in, and be aware of that situation. But do not regret the fact that just because you were not able to do that at that point of time in your life, that will be attached to you all of your life. Don't have that mindset when you're succeeding in your life, right? What will happen is that I took a gap year between 2016 and 2017 while I was deciding which university to go to. And I could have regretted like, oh, I wasted 1 year of my life. But if you think of long term, right, like your life is, let's say, 85 years old, you're going to live 85 years old. That 1 year is not going to account for anything. And you will be so grateful that you took that 1 year to figure out what you really wanted to do, rather than not taking the gap year and be in that race constantly and continuously and just competing with your friends all the time or competing with your peers all the time. Third lesson which I learned was overlooking long-term wins for short-term comfort. People underestimate how much they can get done in a long period of time and overestimate how much they can get done in a shorter period of time. This is one of the most important advices I can give you among the 10 I'm going to give you today, because what you're doing right now may not give you a result right away, but you know that by putting in that effort consistently and continuously and showing up again and again will help you build up something in the future. Remember, short-term comforts are very easy. Looking at your phone right now, not working out, but if you do that consistently, it's just going to hurt you. Small incremental improvements over long term just will give you immense power, will give you immense benefits. So look at the long-term wins instead of the short-term comforts. Number 4, connections over everything. Everything I've gotten up until now, doesn't matter this job right now versus like when I was applying to Purdue, when I was applying for my undergrad, any problems I was able to resolve was because I had connections with people. I had meaningful connections with people. Not just I had LinkedIn connections or Facebook connections. I had meaningful connections with people. I've helped those people over time. We have been connected over years where 2-3 years later down the line, when I had a problem, I was able to quickly reach out to them. Connections will give you more than anything else. Do not overstep. Do not hurt someone just because you're looking for that short-term win. Make those connections, make those meaningful connections. Doesn't matter with people at your work. Right now, even if I left my previous company, right, I would call the manager up. He would be happy because I left very amicably. Do not piss anybody off. You never know who you're going to need when you need their help. Number fifth, never stop learning. What happens? People get into a job, people get into a college, and then they're like, I'm gonna just focus on what the curriculum is, or I'm gonna just focus on the job, and then they stop learning, they stop upskilling them, they stop looking at different avenues. And then 10, 12 years go by, maybe the company doesn't need you, and they're like, oh, we're gonna lay you off now, and then you'll have to start again. You don't know what's going on LinkedIn, you don't know what is the most updated information in your field, what is the language people are coding in right now, what is AI. You don't know that, and you're certainly behind with the people who are looking for jobs right now. So keep upskilling yourself, keep learning. The more you learn, the better it will be for you over time. And always be on a lookout, right? Never get comfortable in a situation. Never get comfortable in the job you are in right now. Always look for better options. That's how people up their game over and over and over. Sixth lesson, if you are between the age of 18 to 25, I will say focus on growth and not money. Why? Because money will follow you if you're really good at something. Now, there's a caveat and there's a condition to this, right? Let's say you come from a lower middle class family, or you are not able to afford that you have to focus on the money part. I'm not talking about that. But if you are comfortable, if the generation behind you, if your parents or if your grandparents have put in the effort, then show them that, hey, I'm going to be exploring some of the options right now. I'm not going to focus on money. I'm just going to focus on growth. Look for a job at startups. Don't go for the big companies, because you can always step into the big company, right? Like I started off with a smaller general contractor when I started my career, and then stepped into a really big one, and maybe next I'll step into a bigger one. But I was able to learn so much in the 2 years I was with a smaller company, because I was doing so many jobs. I was able to learn to an extent where I wouldn't be able to learn on a bigger company. Why? Because when you are in a big company, you're a small fish in a big ocean. Whereas in a small company, you're able to make a lot more effort, even if you're the small fish, because they don't just have enough people. So look for those startup opportunities, explore. Don't worry about the risk if you don't have to worry about the money factor if you have the support from your family. Number 7, teach as much as you can. The best learnings I've gotten over the years is when I'm teaching something, some topic. If I have to become an expert, if I start teaching that, then I become that expert. Why? Because I'm looking out for questions. When I'm teaching somebody something, they're going to be asking me questions about that. When they're asking me questions, my brain goes off like a light bulb, right? Like, oh, I never thought about this. Let's figure this out. And when you're figuring it out, you're able to find more answers, and you're able to be an expert in a certain topic. So when I was doing my job search, right, along with that, I was making videos about LinkedIn and job search as well. When I was making these videos, people were suggesting that, hey, you should be adding this to your content. And I was able to incorporate that into my day-to-day and into my job search process, and just learn more. And when I was teaching more, I was learning more eventually. 8th lesson, never underestimate or undersell yourself. A lot of people face imposter syndrome. If you don't know about imposter syndrome, is the condition when you're feeling that even though you are in a great college, even though you might be in a great company, you don't deserve to be there. You feel like an imposter. You feel like you just made up stuff, you faked it, and you gotten in there. Nope, that is not the case. That is never the case. You should never underestimate you or undersell you. You should be overselling yourself. You should be confident in what you do. If you're confident in what you do and you exuberate that, then other people are going to feel the same way as well. Number 9, this is about physical fitness. Keep working out. Even if you work out a little bit every day, just keep working out. What happens is that working out is one thing which takes in a lot of effort, mentally and physically. So we always keep giving ourselves excuses that we're going to work out tomorrow, I'm going to start working out later, I'm going to start working out in 3 days. as soon as summer hits, I'm going to be working out, or if I have a vacation coming up, I'm going to be working out then. No, small, like even small workouts, right? 20 minutes, 30 minutes workout is going to give you such immense pleasures, endorphins, and it's as you grow in your career, it's going to be very important for you to give yourself that 20, 30 minutes of working out for your endorphins, for your mind more than anything. If you feel good in your body, then you will feel good in your mind and you will work so much more productively. And remember, no one likes a person who can't climb stairs, who can't hike. Uh, so I used to be a fat person when I started my undergrad college. When I started running, I couldn't even run half kilometer without huffing and puffing. And then I just started running and running and running. And I would put some pictures here showing, from 2012, 13, 14, 15 on how my fitness journey go. And I went like this. Fitness is really important. Even small workouts is going to help you immensely. And number 10, stop social media comparison. Right now, social media is super toxic, especially LinkedIn is super toxic, right? You only see the wins of people. You don't see the failures, you don't see what people have lost over the years. You only see the wins. They only share the good part of their life. Nobody shares their failure, and that is the biggest problem because you're comparing their 10 years worth of win to your current situation, right? Let's say I'm sharing that, I was able to crack and get into a great college and I was able to get a job at my dream company. You didn't see that I had to go through years and years of practice and interviews and career fairs. You didn't see that. And I never shared that. So you never saw that. You only saw that I'm able to get into a certain dream company of mine. So don't compare yourself to the people who are in a different situation than you are, um, who also come from a different background than you. They may be coming from privileged background and they don't even know that. So don't compare yourself to with anyone. Just compare yourself with what you were 6 months ago. Are you improving yourself? Are you going up or are you going down or are you flatlining? That's what is the most important thing when it comes to comparison. And those were my 10 life lessons. Um, hope they were interesting. Hope I was able to give you at least one good life lesson today, which you will be able to incorporate in your life. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.